Okay, so for today's run, I don't have contact lenses, so we'll see how it goes. So the intention was I was going to do the video as I went, and it was one of those runs where there's like loads of mishaps. Loads of them, but then at the same time, I was quite sulky this morning. I didn't sleep particularly well. You know, the heat plus the light coming through and it not being my own bed and, you know, all the kind of things that kind of feed into it. So I was already like, okay, this isn't going to be like monumental. We'll just aim to complete it. But then, yeah, accidentally kind of fasted it as well. So I'd had coffee before I went, but nothing else. Went through the water, hadn't taken my electrolyte. So yeah, it's hot, but it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's such a beautiful run to do. But yeah, so I'd started, and the first part was pretty fast because this is a lot flatter than when I'm running at home. But I know the route really well, and I got to literally what would be normally like halfway through a 5k to realise I hadn't pushed start. I think I've said in another video, like I don't track all my runs, but because I'm trying to kind of gauge where I'm at, because I do have goals now, it would have been nice on one of the ones that are flatter and faster generally to have a better idea. But anyway, I have no idea. I've been like chatting to myself for a good couple of minutes. I have no idea where that finished. Oh God. See, it's just like I don't know. It's not even Mercury retrograde or anything like that. But yes, okay, I got it done. 10k. Yeah. But I think it's quite cool to be able to do videos like this for, I don't know whether anybody cares about mine, like running diaries or anything like that. But you know, so often I'm in conversation with people and they'll give me their kind of own limitations around exercise or running and things like that. And it's just like really interesting to observe the different kinds of thought processes and limiting beliefs people have about exercise or capabilities or what's good for you, what's not, and you know, how that can impact things. Like I saw something on a post the other day from someone who was saying, well, you know, when you're autistic, you got like weak muscle tone and you've got and all this stuff, and it was all we, and I was like, well, no, you can't just put everyone in a box like that. And I think it's the same, like, you know, when you're reading literature or talking to people about things like EDS and hypermobility and stuff as well, and that you shouldn't do certain things. And like, I've got hypermobility, and it's never been when I've been on a run that I've went over my ankles. Both times when I blew out my ankles, it's generally when I'm like standing or walking, or the main sort of contributor is when I'm really tired. So yeah, I remember sometimes I would be like doing PT sessions and just standing there with a client and my ankle would just go just over, you know, standing. So generally when I'm running or lifting, that's not the, you know, that's not the time. And I think the thing is, it's like, especially when things are painful, it's really easy to want to avoid sort of movement and things like that. Like, you can't be a dick about it. And I think this is where the limiting beliefs play in. Maybe, you know, somebody will try something really like intense as like a first off, and then get injured, and then that just kind of hammers in the belief even more. Like, you have to be sensible with it. But when the pain crept in for me, it was inactivity, you know, when I wasn't lifting anymore, when I wasn't running. And I think like the real turning point was over earlier on in the year, when it was like my knee was hurting and my back was hurting, and I was like, fuck this, no, You know, the only time my back has hurt before was after I had Ruby, like after I'd given birth and stuff like that. And my knee, I think, was when I was 19 before I properly started exercising and learning about, you know, anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, so on and so forth. So I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. And now that I'm moving again, and like I was always exercising, but just not to the level that I had before. And obviously there was reasons for that. I was so mentally and emotionally fatigued. It's been such a long journey after everything that's happened in the last few years, and I needed time to kind of like down regulate. But part of the issue was that I kind of internalized other people's limiting beliefs around what it was to exercise, and that I should be just like resting and being completely still. And for me, that doesn't feel restful. I can do it, and I do it, but I have to be able to move as well. That's where I feel, to be honest, feel my best, even on hard days, hard runs like this. But yeah, I feel so much better after it. I'm definitely looking forward to getting some kind of better hydration on the go. But yeah, now I can do the rest of Sunday. It's weird.